Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Root Yoga Therapy. I'm your certified yoga therapist, Jasmine Leventhal, and today we are going to focus on opening up and creating space in our hip muscles, our glutes, and really kind of working our hip flexors, because these guys get shortened when we sit and it can actually lead to and cause back pain. So again, this is our rebuild and recharge series. So first half of the practice is going to be more invigorating. We're going to kind of strengthen, and then the second half we're going to lean into those longer stretches and really savor and breathe and try and open up some of those places a little bit more. Hop into something comfy and join me on your mat. Welcome back. So we are going to start in a simple cross-legged seat. This is a great place to start to open up the hips, just because it really targets not only the adductors around your inner groin, but also your abductors. So those muscles on those outer hips. And if you need some assistance, if you're finding that you're really tight and you can't find a nice tall seat with a long spine, then you're going to grab one of your blocks or a pillow and sit on it. And that'll automatically help bring those hips a little more forward and just make it a little bit easier to get some space. So wherever you are, softly close your eyes. Your hands can just be resting on your thighs or on your knees, and finding your breath. And you already might feel a stretch here. You already might find it hard to maintain a tall posture. Maybe your back is kind of aching. And so these are all good things to notice about our bodies and where we are and what we're presenting with today. And finding a full breath in, reach your arms up and overhead. Whether you're on or off the block, you're going to lean forward. Try not to let your sit bones move away from whatever surface you're sitting on. And just release your hands forward and start to walk yourself forward as far as you can do so comfortably. Kind of using your hands as an anchor, pushing your body backwards so the sit bones are really grounded into your mat or your block. And finding some breaths here. Taking one more inhale. And as you exhale, walking your hands back. If you are sitting on a block, go ahead and remove that now. And then shift your body. We're going to move on to our backs, giving your legs a nice squeeze into the chest, extending your left leg forward, right knee hugs in, and we're going to find some nice hip circles. So guiding your leg in a circular motion. And just move in the opposite direction. Good, just warming up here, and then switch. Left knee hugs in, circling the leg in the socket of the hip. And switch directions. Good. And then both knees hug in. Give them a nice squeeze, maybe separate the knees and just find like a kind of separated knees to chest position. Good, again, knees hug in towards one another, rolling forward and backward. See if you can get some momentum. All the way up to a sit, and swing your body around, hands and knees. Pausing here. Inhale, extend your right leg back behind you. As you exhale, you're going to take the knee, take it all the way outside the body to the tricep. Give it a nice squeeze. Extend backwards and squeeze. knee to tricep, extend back, and knee to tricep. Good. Extend it back, swing the leg out to the right, pause here, keep the leg lifted. You should feel your glutes working, your outer hips working, and we're gonna tap the foot down. I'm gonna move my blocks, whoop, and then tap the foot on the outside, on the ground outside of your mat, and lift. Inhale, lower, exhale, lift, inhale, lower, and lift. Good. Swing it all the way back towards center and release it down. Good. Inhale, left leg reaches. On the exhale, you're going to swing it around. Tap left knee, left tricep. Inhale, take it back. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, take it back. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, take it back. Swing the left leg all the way out towards the left as far as you can. Hold it here. And lower on the in-breath. Tap the foot. Exhale, lift. And lower. And lift. One more, lower. And lift. Swing it all the way back around and release it down. Good. Sit your heels, your tailbone towards your heels. Find a child's pose. Shifting side to side, shake that out. And then coming back into that hands and knees, curl the toes, downward facing dog position, lifting the hips up and back. Good. As you inhale, swing right leg up and back behind you. As you exhale, you're going to step it forward. And then heel toe the right foot to the right edge of your mat. Bring both hands to the inside of that right foot. Drop your left knee down. Pausing here. Good. Taking your right hand to your right knee, opening up for this little twist. And coming back to center. Walk that right foot back towards midline. Re-extend your back leg. Lengthen the body forward, find your crescent pose, full breath in. As you exhale, you're gonna spin your left heel down, maybe walking the right foot an inch or two over to the left, warrior two. Good, feeling that stretch across your upper back. Taking an inhale, reverse your warrior. Keep that strong bend through the right leg. And then as you exhale, forearm to thigh, left arm skyward, side angle pose. Good, one more. Inhale, reverse. Keep the strong bend. Exhale, side angle. Good. Pausing here. Inhale, warrior two position. And as you exhale, straighten your leg. Point both toes towards the front of your mat and fold in. Walk your hands towards your right foot and pull your left hip back. Find a nice stretch through the side of your body. Good. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, continue to move forward towards the top of your mat. Rotate your right foot towards the top. Shift forward and step up into like a standing split position. Left knee towards chest. Release the foot down. Fold in. Good. Bend the knees, drop the hips, chair pose. Sink down. Root down, rise up, hands to heart center. Good, take an inhale, sweep the arms skyward, full deep breath. Exhale, fold it forward. Good, pause here, just step the left leg back, keep the right foot forward. Have your feet on that railroad track position. And then inhale, reach the arms forward and up, crescent pose, soft bend into that back knee if needed to help keep that long lower spine. Good, we're gonna move into a balancing pose. So we're kind of getting right into it. Shift your body forward. You might wanna use your block. I'm gonna pause, grab my block since it's at the back of my mat. Place that block slightly forward of your right foot, align with your pinky toe. You're going to shift forward, placing weight into that right leg, and then hop up, rotate, coming into a half moon pose. So rotate your back leg just slightly and find your half moon balancing pose. Good. See if you can lift that top leg an inch or two higher. As you exhale, release the hands down. And then pause here. Carefully step it all the way back. Good. Low lunge, lengthening forward. Sweep the arms back behind you. Open your chest. Get some strength into the legs. Hug the outer hips towards one another. And then all the way down. And step back. Downward facing dog. Let's play with that on the left side. Inhale, extend the left leg up and back behind you. As you exhale, step the foot forward and then heel toe the foot to the left edge of your mat. Pause here, release the right knee down. Both hands towards the inside of the foot. And then left hand to the top of the left thigh. Start to open your chest, find that little rotation. And if you want, you can even open up the leg a little bit. Come back to center. Walk the left foot towards midline. Tuck your back toes. Hands align on the outside of the foot. Straighten the back leg. Good. Spin the back heel down. I'm going to be backwards on the mat right now. Warrior two position. Good. Flip the palm. Reverse the warrior. Nice full stretch. And then as you exhale, side angle pose. This is a good opportunity to look at the alignment in the back of the body. Good. Inhale all the way through the reverse. Exhale, side angle pose, keeping the strong bend into the left knee. Inhale, warrior two position. Keep the arms extended, straighten the front leg, parallel the feet. And this time do a different variation. Let's interlace the hands behind our back. Drive the knuckles down towards the tailbone and fold in. Hands can stay right here. They can start to move overhead. Good. Full deep breath in. Exhale, hands are going to release down. Walk them over towards that left foot. And then continue that walk. Your block should already be there at the top of your mat from last time if you used it. Take the block, place it towards the pinky side of the foot. And we're going to come up for a crescent pose, but it's nice to have the prep here already for half moon. Inhale, reach the arms forward and up. Good. Slowly shift forward, lengthen forward. Hand to the block. Step up and over. Half moon pose. Reaching the back leg all the way towards the space behind you. Breathing here. See if you can lift that back leg an inch or two. You really want it aligned with the hip. It could be a little lower. You never want it higher than the hip because that can become compressive. One more full inhale. As you exhale, release the hand down. Hug left or right knee in towards chest. Lower the foot down, folding in. Inhale, chair pose. Bend the knees, drop the hips, reach the arms forward and up, hugging the hips towards one another. Root down, rise up, big breath in. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, sweep the arms skyward. Exhale, fold forward. Good. Inhale, step the right leg back. Pause here, low lunge. Sweep the arms back behind you. Big breath in. And then exhale, release the hands down. Step back, downward facing dog. Good, nice deep breath. Exhale, walk your hands all the way towards your feet, folding in. And slowly roll the spine, stacking one vertebrae at a time, all the way up to a stand. Good, face me for a moment. At the top of your mat, so we should be facing one another. And then we're going to do an eagle pose. So we're gonna cross our legs. So you can be here if your balance is challenged. Otherwise, you're gonna take the foot a little higher away from or higher up towards the leg, away from the mat, and slowly bend in. Eagle pose. We'll just do hands to heart. If you can double wrap the leg, you can try that too. And the right leg is right now over the left. So if you want to add the eagle arms, you can extend the arms forward. You're going to take the left arm over the right and find space in your upper back here. So again, if you're not double wrapping, it would look like this. You can even have the toes on the mat if your balance is feeling a little challenged. Sink in. One more inhale. As you exhale, release the arms. Slowly rise, release the legs. Good, shake your standing leg. And switch. So again, crossing the legs. You're gonna either have your toes down if your balance is feeling a little challenged. Otherwise, start to take that foot higher up towards the leg, squeezing the inner thighs towards one another. Double wrap if you can. Bend in, hands to heart to begin. And then now that the left leg is over the right, right arm's gonna go over left for eagle wrap. Good, full deep breath here. Exhale as you unwrap the arms, rise up, release the pose, and shake out the standing leg. Woo. Good, inhale, reach the arms skyward. Exhale, fold it forward. Good, separate the feet so they're just slightly wider than your hips. Rotate heels in, toes out, Malasana squat, squat on down. Again, great place to use a block. You can sit on a block to make this just a more of a resting space while still getting all the benefits in the hips. You're challenging yourself, no block. If your heels are lifted, that's all good. Place the triceps towards the inner knees, inner thighs. Use that to help kind of open up the hips even more, hands to heart center, breathing here. Now this is a great place to stay. If you're looking to even add more strength into this pose, you can take the arms up. And arms are going to be aligned with the ears. Breathing here. One more inhale, maybe palms touch. Exhale, hands to heart center. And then slowly, this is going to be some strength challenge. Pressing down through the feet, we're going to come all the way up to a stand. Slowly coming all the way up. And we're going to squat back down. All the way down to Malasana squat. All the way up. All the way down. Again, all the way up. And down. And up, and down. Now you can pretend you're picking up toys off the floor. Up, and down. Last one. Up, and down. Or food. That's what I always do. I pick up food off the floor. Good, taking a full breath in. Exhale, place your hands behind you, lean back, sit down, shake that out. Good. Bring the sole of your inner right foot to your inner left thigh. One of my favorite poses. Inhale, reach the arms forward and up. Rotate your body towards your straight leg, folding forward. And we're going to start to move into that more restorative space. So holding here for several breaths. Now what I love about this pose is it not only gets into your hips with this external rotation, but also a really nice stretch in the back of the straight leg, a really nice stretch through your QL muscles and your side body here. So it kind of hits all the points and all the juicy spots. Last 2 breaths, see where you can soften. See where you can give in and surrender a little bit more deeply. Slowly coming up to center and switch. Good, inhale, reach the arms forward and up. Rotate your body over your straight leg, fold in. Last breath here. Slowly come back. I'm going to teach pigeon pose. It's not a pose I generally teach because it's not for everyone, and it could be quite hard to get into if you have very tight hips. So with that disclaimer, if you do have very tight hips and you know you have very tight hips, you're welcome to try pigeon. If it's not working for you, please go to thread the needle on your back, which is that figure 4 stretch that I usually teach, because I find it very effective and I find it very approachable, accessible for everybody, no matter where you are in your practice. But just to refresh your memory, it's the one that looks like this. This is a great place to be. It's often my go-to hip stretch. But since we're doing something a little more intense and very hip focused, we're gonna come on and do pigeon pose. And I like to stay in this pose for several breaths. So if there at any point you need to come out early, please do so. So the way we're gonna get into it, have a block handy. This can be a really helpful tool. You just can come here into a hands and knees position, extend your left leg back. We'll start on that side. And you're gonna bring it forward. You're gonna step the foot through and then just kind of scooch that left foot over to the right edge of your mat and drop the left knee down. So this top shin is on a little bit of an angle. The more parallel this top shin gets to the mat, the more intense the stretch becomes. You're gonna take your right toes, scooch them back several inches. And ideally, we're working to get this glute all the way towards the mat. This is where the block could come into play. If you have a lot of space, scoot your block right there for support. There you go. And that can be really helpful and allow you to really stay here and kind of work deeper into your hips. If you don't need the block, you're working deeply into your hips. You can have your forearms kind of resting on the mat and using that as a little bit of a support. Your back leg is pretty strong and straight. If you have more space, you can slowly start to release your forehead down onto your forearms. The one thing we're not doing in this pose is opening up. So you're not leaning on that backside. Your hips have to be nice and square, and your back toes, sometimes they like to go in that way, and you want them to be pointing straight back. So just a couple little notes about the proper alignment of this pose. Now I know that I have some space here, so I always like to put a blanket or something there. Just breathing here and just see how the hip starts to kind of, the muscles start to soften and open, and the tension gets released. And these are all really good things, because when like I was saying before in a previous video, when our muscles are really tense, they're actually weak. So because they can't contract and expand properly, so they actually get weak over time. So it's really important to open up and create space in our muscles in order for us to strengthen and move forward and get stronger, be more functional, be more mobile, all the things that we want for our bodies, our health, our longevity. Last breath here. And slowly you're going to bring your hands back towards your shin, tuck your back toes, scoot the back knee in, release the tension, slide the left leg out and through, shake it out. Maybe you want to kind of roll into the hip a little bit. Sit back, lean to the left side. And coming back to center, we'll do the same thing on the right. So inhale, extending the right leg back, knee towards chest, and then sliding that right foot towards the left edge of your mat, having that shin on a slight angle towards the top of your mat, and then scooting the left leg back. I'm definitely more open and more mobile and more flexible on my right side, so I can tell the difference right away. But it's always good to notice those things, and in the future, if you notice you have imbalances in your body, it's really nice to hold that side that you're stretching maybe a little bit longer. One more inhale. As you exhale, slowly coming out of the pose, slide your back leg forward. Your right leg scoots through, stretch it, roll it, whatever feels good, shake it. Sit back. Good, and then swing around, coming onto your back. Actually, go ahead and get a block. Place that block underneath your hips. So this is like a supported bridge pose, but we're going to use it for our hip flexors. So you're going to extend your left leg forward and just get that nice stretch into the hip flexor. If this doesn't bother your back at all, you can extend your right leg forward to meet it. If this is too much, just go back and we'll do one leg at a time. For those who are doing, I'll give you the option of when you can switch. So if you're doing one leg at a time, please switch now, straightening your right leg, bending into your left knee. Good. Everyone, rebend both knees. Plant your feet down, lift your hips, slide the block out from under you. Separate your feet as wide as your mat. Drop both knees over to the left. And through center and both knees over to the right. Back to center. Good. Give your legs one big squeeze. Find your happy baby pose, either grabbing outer feet, ankles, shins, hooking the toes, whatever feels good to you today. Maybe even a gentle rock side to side feels good. Come back to center, release, and then extend both legs forward and down. You can have Shavasana, traditional Shavasana with legs straight forward and down. If you want to continue to get a little bit more into the hips, take a butterfly pose, soles of the feet together, knees out wide. If this feels like it's straining, we don't want that here, so you would place blocks to the outer edges of your thighs to give them a little bit of support. That would release any tension or straining to the inner groin. And then just breathing here. If you are in that butterfly position, take your hands to the outer edges of your thighs. Gently bring the knees toward one another. You can, again, re-stretch your legs forward for Shavasana for a few breaths. And then when you're ready, roll to one side. You're welcome to stay in your resting pose for as much time as you have available to you. Otherwise, if you're ready to close the practice off with me, come into a comfortable seat. Taking a moment to notice any shifts or changes in the body from before and now after the practice. Full deep breath in through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. Hands to heart center. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope to see you next time. Namaste.